Hi, you guys. Hey, everybody. It's me, Dolores, the pastor's daughter. Look, I'm not going to be before you long, but y'all, I had to come on here and show y'all this, okay? So, the other day, we were doing a writing session, right? We were doing a writing with Dolores session. And we decided to watch this story about Bree, right? You guys remember this? You may not because it was in the middle of a live writing session. So if you're not into the writing sessions, then you probably didn't tune in, right? Well, during that writing session, we decided to watch Bree's story while we were doing our writing. So I mistakenly forgot to talk about her story after we did the writing session, right? So the whole point was for us to kind of like multitask, right? So we're listening to Bree's story in the background while we're also focusing on writing and doing other things. Like sometimes I just like a bit of white noise in the background, or sometimes I like to kind of like multitask, tune into different shows, maybe some podcasts are on in the background. And I'm like somewhat listening to it while I'm also writing, right? So, some of us have the ability to do that. Well, we were listening to Bree's story and I thought it was so I don't know, I guess divine is the word that I'm looking for, right? Because the very thing that Bree was talking about. Now look at her story, right? Her story says the trouble with being beautiful. And this is Bree's story, right? So the crazy part about Bree's story is, wait, let me just show you. Let me go back to the very beginning and y'all just listen to what she says in just the first couple sentences of what she says. Listen to this.
I'm treated like an object, like a trophy. And once they're done using that trophy to parade around their friends or like show off, like, oh yeah, I did this with her, it's like, okay, you're done. Bye.
That right there, you guys, that was the one thing that she said in this interview that was so divine, because at the very same time that we were listening to that in the background, I'm working on book number 2, right, in the memoir series, which is what? None other than Objectified, the pastor's daughter, Objectified. This is volume 2 in my memoir series. You guys remember volume 1 was the pastor's daughter Provoked, right? You guys remember that? Let me show you. Um, so that's Provoked right there, right? So that's the first volume. You see that right there, volume 1. Now volume 2 is getting ready to come out in March, and the very thing that she was talking about, being objectified. And I was telling y'all that day, I was like, there's something about it. I believe that this story is going to speak to daughters all over the world because we are treated as objects. A lot of us are treated as objects, and that robs us of our purpose. That robs of really is what right there on the book, right? How to break free from objectification and reclaim your voice, identity, and self-worth. It robs you of everything that you are and everything that you were created to be, because it puts you in this box of being used by someone, and your worth is what they deem it to be, right? What they want to use you for. And you're not valued to certain people. You're looked at as whether you're useful or not. Like, what can I get out of this person, this woman? How can I use her? How can I take advantage of her body or exploit her mind or her abilities, or whatever the case may be? And that's the story of a lot of us. Some of these things were done to us in our very foundational relationships. For me, it was with my father. That's where I first um, experienced objectification. And of course, growing up, I didn't know what it was or what was happening or anything like that. I just knew that, you know, as I aged, as I got older, that it was like smothering me, like it was confining. It was restrictive, um, and it just wouldn't allow me, the stipulations, the rules, the religious manipulation and coercion and all those things that encompass that relationship, that all of those dysfunctional toxic things that was part of me and my father's dynamic. Over time, I just rebelled against it, because it was like, this is just not me. This is not who God created me to be. So everything in me was like against what was happening to me. Of course, as you grow up, you don't really know what it is. You just feel like, dang, like there's something wrong with me, or, why does my parent, not love me or like me, or, why are they mean? Why do they treat me this way? Why, and you don't really understand it. But, over time, as I grew older, I realized what it was, and I started to write about it. And so I wrote about it in book 1. And at that time, I still didn't know what it was until um until book 1 was out, and then I really began to realize like how deep this really was, right? So, and how damaging it really was to me. And so when Bree began to tell
I'm
her
treated like an
story,
object, like a trophy. And once they're done,
and I went back and I listened to it after we did that live writing session, I was just like, oh my God, this was so divine. And then, y'all, what the real reason I wanted to come on here today, well, right now, and talk about Bree, is because there is a follow-up to her story, right? Which again, I think is like so divine, because um let me go over here real quick. Hold on, you guys. Let me Oh my gosh, this is like, it is so crazy. Hold on. So let me show y'all, let me pull this up real quick, and let me let y'all see this follow-up to Bree's story. This is so crazy, y'all. But like crazy, like in a good divine way, like not crazy, Hold on. Uh-oh. Wrong way. Okay. Hey, Ay. Welcome back, Bree. Okay. Let me share my screen now. I got it pulled up. Bree is back. Bree has an update, and I just feel like we must catch this. Now, look what it says. Look what the caption says, you guys. Bree finds Jesus. Ah! Go Bree, go Bree, go Bree, go Bree. Okay, period. So let's see what Bree has to say. And let's, for the sake of time, because like I gotta go in a minute, we are going to we're gonna speed this up a little bit. Okay, wait, what am I doing? Am I messing up? What am I messing up here?
Hi.
So nice to see you again.
I know, it's been a while.
I think you've told me a little bit off camera what's been going on.
Let me go to 1.5, okay?
Yes.
You've had some ups and downs.
Yes, there is a lot that has happened since the last.
As of our last,
because we want to catch the story, but for the sake of time, we're gonna speed it up to a 1.5, and we're going to listen to Bree's story, because first of all, like I haven't even watched this. I just read the caption and I was like, I gotta come back and talk to the girls about it and let them know that Bree found Jesus. Okay. And Bree talked about the objectification, which means that she is like very much aware of it. A lot of us are not aware of this objectification that we've experienced. So I'm really praying that this book that comes out really helps a lot of us, understand what was happening to us and what has happened to us, and, how we can get out of that and really just, begin to live our lives the way God meant for us to. So let's listen to Bree's story, y'all.
last talk, you were doing OnlyFans, but you were quitting OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You'd been making millions of dollars doing OnlyFans, and you quit because you decided it wasn't for you.
Yeah. So I was saying in the last video how I quit, but after that video came out, and a lot of people like really got mad, because I actually did go back to it for a couple months.
How old are you now?
I'm 23.
23. It's hard for a young girl to turn down making $1 million a year.
Yeah. So I quit. I had quit for a couple months, and then I went back to it, and I was doing it again, but I wasn't making nearly as much money as I was before. So I had just moved to LA. I was like, I need to make more money. I have this super nice apartment. It's $5,000 a month. I really need to make more money because OnlyFans was not cutting it. I was making like nowhere near as much as I was when I was 18, 19. Apparently they like when you're 18 and 19 better than when you're 22 or 23.
It's a sick world.
It is actually kind of sick when you think about it. So I did actually go back to it, and people that found me were really mad. They were like, why'd she go back to it? She's such a liar. You really don't understand how hard it is when you've been doing this basically your whole adult life to get out of the fast money lifestyle. It is addicting. It is so addicting. It like reels you in every time. And every time you try to get out, it's like a monster. It grabs you and brings you back. And it's really hard to get out of. So of course, I went back. I was there doing it again for a couple months, realized that the money wasn't the same. I had just moved to LA. So I met this girl, and she told me that she was going to audition at a strip club. So I was like, okay. And then she was like, you should come with me. And I was like, well, that is a way to make money. I was looking to do like bottle girling or something, but I was like, that is a way to make money. And so we went to go buy all the stuff, and we bought everything. Then the day comes that we're gonna go audition, and she's like, I'm not going anymore. And I'm like, well, I still need to go. So because I needed money, I had got the super nice apartment, I had my car payment super high, so I'm like, I need to still go. So I went, I auditioned. I remember standing there on the pole, I couldn't move, I froze when I got on the stage. The manager was just staring at me, the DJ was saying like, come on, and I was just there like this, because I was freaking out. I could not believe I was standing there. I could not believe what I was doing. But I got the job still, somehow, even though I didn't move, didn't do anything, I still got the job, and I worked there for a while. And then I realized the money here isn't too good. So I got an Uber, and I started going around to different places. And I was like, are you guys hiring? Are you guys hiring? And every place was like, not right now or later, or come another day. So I got in one last Uber, and I told the guy, do you know of any place that is hiring? And he was like, yeah, there's this one that's about to open, and it's super popular, like everyone's going there. And I was like, because it was like open to like private clients. So he drove me there. I went, I auditioned, and I got the job. The first night I made like $1,000, and I was like, this is where I'm staying. So I worked there for a couple months. I made friends with some girls, super nice girls, by the way. Everyone is on their own path. I don't blame anyone for anything. But it introduced me to a really dark lifestyle. So I was going from just sitting at home taking pictures for OnlyFans to now I'm physically there with other people. And the nightlife lifestyle, especially at clubs, is really dark. Everybody is doing drugs. Everybody is really drunk. And to kind of survive in that world, you have to kind of do the same, because it kind of tears at your soul little by little. And to be able to like keep going, to numb yourself, I had to get drunk, really drunk, to the point where you don't remember much. I had to do other things, and I'm not happy at all. And I knew what I was doing was wrong. But it was kind of like, I need to do this because I need to pay for this, I need to pay for that, I need to take care of my family. Like, everybody's relying on me, and this is the only thing I know what to do. Like, I was like, I have never had like an office job. I had graduated college, but I was so addicted to the fast, like everything quick, that I didn't even think like I should go try a different path. So I kept going. I met these girls, still love these girls, and we started getting even deeper into the lifestyle. I don't want to say exactly everything because I still have a future, but we got deeper into the lifestyle, and it was going from just dancing to more. So you basically know, like, we were doing these trips and going these places, and it was just a mess. And
did you also get some plastic surgery since last time I saw you?
Oh yes, I got my boobs done, I got my nose done. I don't know why I did that.
Was this before the strip club or after?
This was during? This was during the transition from OnlyFans to the strip club. Okay. So I thought, like, I really don't know why I did. I think it's just like, if I look better, more people will, like, I will make more money. Right. So I feel like that's why I did it. But
you were beautiful before, and you're still beautiful, but
yeah,
you don't need, I mean, I think you're on this, you have this perception that your looks are everything.
Yeah.
Which, it's understandable how you got that idea.
Yeah, because my whole life I had just been what had been ingrained into me, like, the looks are everything, and that's how you make more money. The better you look, the more money you make, even if to other.
I told y'all the advice my father gave me, right? Only real advice I remember him telling me about, just about life in general, about me and about myself, is that I wasn't going to be pretty forever, so I should get married young. He said, you need to get married young because you're not going to be pretty forever. And it creates this thought process in your mind that that you'll be desired for certain things, like your youthfulness, your beauty, you know, But nothing below surface level, like these are things that are like all surface level things. They're just, they're part of who you are, but they are not who you are. Those things can fade and you'll still be who you are. But when you're living a society, a world, when you're raised even to believe that that's where your value is, that's for where your usefulness is, that's how you live, that's how you survive. If you need to make it, you resort back to your youth and your beauty, you use that to your advantage. And I believe that it creates this mindset in women that is probably like the explanation for a lot of the behavior that you see, and a lot of the mindset that you see, a lot of the bad decisions that you see. I mean, you can see that in her and how she's talking about the bad decisions that she's made, even since she did the interview, where she showed us that she has that recognition that, she's aware that she's been objectified. And then when you hear how when she talks about the things that she's doing now, the decisions that she made, like her plastic surgery, she's like, I don't know why I did that. Which means that when she made that decision, she wasn't using discernment with that decision making process, because right now she could tell you, I don't know why I did that. So, I see how it's so very crucial for us, as daughters, among daughters, to speak to each other, and really just kind of like pour into each other, and encourage each other, that first of all, we need to activate our gift of discernment and use that muscle, like use that skill to live your life. Every decision that you make in your life, you should be using discernment to make that decision. So let's continue.
Some people are like, oh, you look worse now. But it's like, in my head, it's a different thing. When I looked in the mirror back then, I wouldn't see the same thing other people saw. It was just a mess. I had body dysmorphia. I was addicted to money. And
body dysmorphia is a bitch.
Yeah, body dysmorphia is tough. And it was all just like, my value was based on other people, not on what I thought of myself. So anyways,
You were taking trips.
I was taking trips, and we were doing really good. And I was getting even deeper into the lifestyle. I was like, oh, I'm never stopping.
Where were you going? What kind of places?
Vegas. Don't go to Vegas, please. There's nothing good happens in Vegas. Gambling, addiction, all these horrible things. Don't go to Vegas. But Vegas is beautiful, but it's also Sin City. So it's called that for a reason. So yeah, we were going to Vegas. And one day I met this guy there, and he was just like, I just want to talk to you. So we sat there and we talked, and then we stopped, and I went home and he went home, and that was it. We just had a conversation. And after that, he texted me. He was very adamant about him coming down to LA to come see me. And I was like, okay. So I told him, but that same day we were planning on going to Vegas. So the day that he wanted to come. So I was like, okay. I told the girls, like, we're going to go Saturday instead of Friday. And then he came down, and we were sitting there, and he just started kind of planting seeds. He was like, are you happy with what you're doing? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, everything's fine. I was so like numb to everything. Oh, let me tell you too, in Vegas, so much things happened. I almost got kidnapped by pimps. Pimps would chase after you. There is so much scary stuff that happened. Like, guys would say, oh, I would kill you one day. Like, scary things. So super scary things. And that still wasn't enough to break me out of it and scare me enough to break me out of it. So he was like, are you happy with what you're doing? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then he just kept asking me and kept pushing.
Do y'all see how when she said that when she received those threats and stuff, it wasn't enough to break her out of it? I can see that like a lot amongst us women, that we know that there is a lot of danger around us, a danger in the decisions that we have made, but for some reason we don't like escape, or we don't like leave those situations that are dangerous. It's almost like we're numb to it, even when we know that it's a dangerous situation. It's almost like, well, I don't know, maybe there's part of us that feels like it won't really happen, like there's a lot of doubt, like, that, well, he's not gonna do nothing. But like, I can hear threats, from people, that people have gotten threats like that are like graphic and specific and, all like just bad. But for some reason, it's something in us, like some type of dysfunction, some type of toxicity or something where we do not like really acknowledge that danger that's around us. We still stay, or we subject ourselves to dangerous situations as if we don't get it. It's something like it's a phenomenon that's so weird to me.
A little bit, but not too much, to the point where I was like, okay, go away. Like, he was just like saying little things, and I was like, this guy's crazy. Like, I'm fine. So he says, we should go, and I want to take a nap, and we should go to your house, and I want to take a nap. And I was like, okay.
He wants to take a nap.
He said he wanted to take a nap.
At your place?
At my house.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. But and this day, I hadn't done anything. I hadn't drank anything. I was completely sober. I hadn't done anything in like a day. So no drinking, no nothing. So we go to my house, and I lay in my bed, and he was asleep, but I don't think he was really asleep. And this is why everything, because people are like, how did this change happen so crazy? Because on my Instagram now, I've been posting about it, and they're like, how did this happen? And this is what happened. I was laying there, and I'm scrolling on YouTube, and I never scroll on YouTube, and the Wi-Fi never works in my house, in my room. Like, in my room, I can't watch TikTok, I can't go on YouTube because it never works. But for some reason, this day, the Wi-Fi was working in my room. Like, I had full bars. So I'm scrolling on YouTube, and I click on this video that came up. And at this point, I didn't really watch YouTube. I don't know what I was doing on YouTube, but I just was. So I click on this video, and it's about this girl. And she's just talking about everything that she's been through. And it's the exact same story as mine. She talked about how she moved to LA, how she got into the deep, like, dark sex work lifestyle and got addicted to a lot of things. And then when she was talking, just the way she was saying it, I was so like, sounds exactly like me. And then she talked about how she got saved because God saved her out of this. So I'm halfway through the video, and I paused it, and I just put the phone down, and I laid there, I said, and the guy was still sleeping, and I was just there like, wow. And then I just kept saying, wow. And then started crying. And I was like, I shouldn't have watched that video. I know that video saved my life. But I was crying, and I cried for about an hour. And the guy, who wasn't asleep the whole time, he was just there. He started hugging me, and he was like, it's okay. It's over now. It's okay. And I just was crying and crying. And I was like, I can't believe, like, everything I was doing, I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay. But in that moment, when I watched that and I heard it is possible to get out of this, I was like, there's no way. So it hit me really hard. And I was just crying, and he was just hugging me. And I was like, what the fuck? I was just saying that over and over. I was just saying that. And I was like, what is going on? So then I stopped crying, and the room just felt very light, like very, very light, like very, like, there's no heavy energy. There's no, like, it just felt very light. And I felt very, like, I don't know how to even explain it.
It's amazing what Wi-Fi can do.
Yeah, exactly. Now that I've been reading, they say that's the Holy Spirit coming to you, that feeling.
It's just really good Wi-Fi.
Just really good Wi-Fi. But they say it's the Holy Spirit, that's the feeling. But you could tell when you get that feeling. It's just like, I'm okay kind of feeling. Like, I'm done. Like, it's done. So I call it war is over. You know the song, like, war.
Just a little side note. The host, like, why does he keep saying it's just really good Wi-Fi? Like, what y'all think of that? I just noticed that, like, there's a little bit of, I don't know, a little shaky there. I'm gonna keep him lifted up in prayer.
Is over.
You kicked the white knight out?
No, he was still there. He was just hugging me. He had no intentions of doing anything with me, I think. Like, he just wanted, I say he was an angel sent by God to save me in my darkest moment, because I had hit rock bottom, and I was not aware, but I had definitely hit rock bottom.
That's great.
And I think it was somebody to come pull me out of rock bottom, because obviously I wasn't learning on my own. I just kept going. And without him, without all that happening, without that video, I probably would have been dead or in jail. So that saved me. So he was just hugging me, and I was like, what am I gonna do now? Like, I have this apartment, I have this car. I told him, I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like, this is done. Like, I'm done. Like, I cannot do this anymore. I don't care about anything. I just know I can't do this anymore. And then he was like, you have family here. This guy knew nothing about me. I had been so standoffish. I haven't told him anything about me. And he was like, you have family here. And I was like, okay, my step family, if you guys are confused because I'm from Panama, but my step family is in Georgia. So I was like, how do you know I have family here? But then I was like, okay, yeah, he's right. He knew I was from Panama. So I was like, I do have family here. He was like, here's what you're going to do. You're going to get in your car and you're going to drive to Georgia, and I'm going to help you with the hotel money and the gas money, and you're just going to drive tomorrow. Like, you're just going to start driving.
It's very nice of him.
Very nice. I'm telling you, he was an angel sent by God. Like, I can't believe that happened. So I literally packed 4 suitcases up and got in my car the next day. Oh, I called my dad.
I don't mean to change the story, but don't you have money left over from all your OnlyFans?
Yes, but
you don't need money for a plane ticket.
Fast money goes fast.
Did you spend it already?
I spent, well, I have saved in investments, but that's stuff I can't touch. Like, my grandparents and my dad handle that, and I can't touch it. So in my bank account, I didn't really have anything.
Okay.
And I had bought designer, I had bought a Rolex, I had bought...
You're young.
Yeah, all this stuff. And when you get fast money real quick, it goes really fast. So you're like, what happened to all my money? You spend it all on, I don't know what, getting your hair done, getting your nails done, getting your eyebrows done every week. And that adds up a lot, and you spend a lot more money than you're thinking. And that's why a lot of people in this lifestyle, once they look, they don't have anything. Like, because they spent it, because they don't know what to do with it, and we just spend it because we're so used to getting it fast. Oh, this is $2,000, I'll make this back tomorrow. It's a really messed up mindset to have. You don't see the value of money, how other people see the value of money. To someone else, $1,000 is a lot. To somebody in this world, like, $1,000 is nothing. So it's really, that's why it's so hard to get out. So he was like, yes, I will help you get in your car and go. So I was like, okay, perfect. And I had it felt like I was in like a dream-like state. Like, I had done some kind of, but I hadn't done anything. It was just me completely sober, realizing, like, waking up. I woke up, and I woke up out of the super dark stuff I was in, and I was like, I can't. So I get in my car, I called my dad, I told him everything I did. I told him everything. He was like, you need to come home right now. And then I called my grandparents, and I was like, I'm coming home right now. And they were like, okay. So, and these are my step family, but to me, they're my actual family, for people who are confused. But I get in my car and I just drive 5 days straight. Well, I stop along the way, but I drive 5 days, and the whole 5 days, all I could do was listen to scripture, listen to gospel, listen to Christian podcasts, listen to sermons. And anytime, like, I wasn't even in my mind to want to listen to something else. I just wanted to listen to that. Like, my mind was like, I need to learn more. I need to know more. And every time I would listen to more, I would be like, wow, like, it is possible to get out of anything, any hole you're stuck in. It is 100% possible to get out of. Whether you're religious or not, you can get out of it. For me, I turned to God and I asked and I prayed, and this whole thing happened. And if you're not...
How long ago did this happen?
2 weeks ago. It happened 2.5 weeks ago. So I drove and I just listened and I listened and I listened. I just kept learning more and more. And it was just like repentance, like learning how to realize what you're doing is wrong and turning away from it and doing a complete 180 and going the other way. That is the most important thing. Once you do that, it's just uphill from there. Once you realize this is sinful, or if you're not religious, this is wrong, get up, turn the other way, and just go that way. Anything opposite to what I was doing is the right way, honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
Yeah, so...
What are you doing for work now?
I'm a preschool teacher now, and...
You're going to be a preschool teacher?
Yeah.
Wow.
So...
Good for you.
I know, so...
I'm proud of you.
It's like, when I drove those 5 days, and people were like, my friends were all confused. They were like, what is going on with her? Like, she's crazy. Like, she just met this guy, and now she's driving to Atlanta. And I was like, no. Like, I realized that I was deep in some shit, and I needed to get out, and I could not go back to it. So I listened, and when I got there, I felt so clear and so happy, and I was just like, I really got saved. Like, my life got saved. Because without that, I'm telling you, I would have probably been dead. With the stuff I was doing, I would have probably been dead. So then when I got there, now all I do, I haven't touched alcohol, I haven't touched anything. I have devoted my life to God, honestly.
You were such a fun girl.
I know, but...
I'm joking.
I know, but these people, and I realized that because now my friends kind of, some people backed away, and I'm like, but a lot of people are just happy for me. And for the people that backed away, I'm just like, you guys just want to see other people doing as bad as you are. Like, when people start to do good and go the right direction, you guys are like, oh no, like, what's wrong with her? Now she's all about God, and now she won't stop talking about God in the Bible. And I'm like, maybe if you realized what you were doing was wrong, you would also be able to go the other way. But okay, I'm not going to judge. Or all I do now when people judge me or saying mean things to me, I say, I'm going to pray for you, and then I walk away. Or I pray for you, and then I stop talking to them. And it's just very beautiful. When I got there, I live in the middle of the woods now. I don't live in a crazy city. I live in the middle of the woods. Atlanta has like suburbs up. I live like way north in the middle of nowhere. So there's just a bunch of deer everywhere. There's no clubs to go to. So it was a really nice place to heal and like get everything out of my system. Then I was like, and I was scared because people would say like, okay, but if I finish what I'm doing and I turn to a new life, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know where to go. I was super scared, but I just really prayed about it. And you can manifest, do whatever you want to do. But I was like, I know I can't go back there. I'm going to pray about it and just ask for guidance. And then I started getting I started applying to jobs. And I started getting responses back. And then I realized, because I have a finance degree, I realized I really don't want anything to do with finance. Like, that just sounds so boring to me. That's probably why I didn't do anything before with it. I found out what I really like is, one, spreading the word of the Bible, helping other people, and going to church. So I work now for a Christian preschool. And if I could just help people, like any kids, like find God or just find what the right things to do are and just go down the right path in life, then that's all I want to do. That's what really fulfills me, is doing that. It's way better than working some corporate job, doing Microsoft Excel all day. To me now, it's not about, oh, am I making $10,000 a month? It's more of, what am I doing? Like, what is my purpose? What do I want to do? Like, what are my goals? And that to me is really helping other people and making sure, because the kids are the new generation. I want to make sure these kids go down the right path in life and have some support and have someone there for them.
You're right there.
And they feel loved young, so they don't go down these paths. So that's what I really like to do. And I have a second major in psychology, so that was honestly perfect because that helped me a lot.
It's probably a much healthier lifestyle for a young girl.
Oh, yes, so much better. I now realize I can't buy all these things and get all this fancy, flashy stuff, but I'm so much happier. It's so much better. Everything is just happier. I feel finally fulfilled. And it's still a long journey. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm perfect now, and now everyone else isn't perfect, and I'm perfect. I'm just saying, I realized what I was doing, I changed, and now I'm going down the right path. And I realized I can't turn back and go down the wrong path. I got baptized again, because I got baptized when I was young, but I got baptized again, and that's really the symbol of new start, new life, new beginnings.
So this means I'll never get that lap dance we talked about?
No.
I'm joking.
No
joking.
more lap dances.
I'm joking.
I don't even wear, this is crazy.
He's tired of his little
thank you.
jokes, y'all.
This is crazy, but I threw away all my clothing that wasn't modest, so everything that showed like too much of anything, got rid of it. All the stripper clothes are gone.
I mean, what have you learned about being such an object of men's like desires?
Well, I realized I was dressing based on how many people are going to look at me, how much money am I going to make, and I stopped dressing and acting that way, and now I'm more like, well, I'm dressing for God, I'm dressing for Christ, I'm dressing like I'm going to church, but I'm not going to act like I want attention. I don't want validation. I don't want attention. I don't want men looking at me. And even still, men still look at me, but you can't really do anything about that.
That's what happens.
But I try to dress now for, is this dressing for someone else, or is this dressing for myself and dressing for
yourself is probably the answer.
Yeah, I'm dressing because I like these clothes, I want to put them on, and not because of how much attention I'm going to get. And so I only wear modest clothes now. No alcohol, no nothing. And on Halloween, my aunt was like, come on, drink. And I was like, no. I was like, no. So that was my first temptation.
But this has all been this is fresh. This is 2 weeks old.
So it's still a journey. I'm not going to say I'm going to be perfect. And
was your family religious?
My family was Catholic, but I never really got raised like dress modest. Like I got raised more of let's drink, party, have fun. And now I'm more like, I learned this all by myself. Even when I got baptized when I was 10, I was the one who told my mom I wanted to get baptized. I told her I want to get baptized because I had learned it and I had heard about it, and I was like, I want to accept Jesus as my savior. And even after getting baptized, you could like still sin, but I was really sinning, so I need to get baptized again, get refreshed again. So now what my next steps are really just work on healing myself and relearning my whole thought process.
Are you seeing a therapist?
I am seeing a therapist.
That's
yes, great. I am seeing a therapist because I think the perfect mixture is God and therapy. That's a perfect healing potion. It's very fulfilling, and you do need to talk to someone. It's not just about, oh, I'm healed and that's it. No, there's still a lot of trauma that you need to unpack and still a lot of things that need to be dealt with. But I found the root problem, and now I'm working on it. So it's completely different. Yeah.
Such an uplifting story.
It is, because I went up, I was going up, and then I went boom. And it was like a roller coaster. I just went down, and I thought it was okay, and it wasn't. And now I'm going back up. So I'm so happy about this. Like all the changes I'm making, most people are very like uplifting and really proud of me. So that even keeps me going more, because I'm like, thank you. Like they're like, we're just so proud of you. Like a lot of people tried to tell me, hey, what you're doing is not that good. And I was like, you're crazy. 3 weeks ago, if you would have told me what I was doing was wrong, I would have been like, you're a hater because I have a Rolex and you don't. You're a hater. But no, now I'm like, I sold the Rolex. So I sold all my designer stuff. And it's like,
was there one thing that this man said or that you realized or that you saw that made you change?
It was,
I mean, the YouTube video was it?
Oh, there's just so many coincidences, like him waiting to take a nap and then him not even napping. And then just when I started crying and watched the video, he was just there. The name of the girl who got me into dancing, he mentioned this. He was like, so what's the name of the girl? This is why I think it's just not possible. It can't be a coincidence. After the whole thing happened, he looked at me, he was like, so what's the name of the girl of the YouTube video you watched? And I go look on the YouTube video, and the girl whose video saved my life is the same name as the girl who got me into dancing, who's basically began the whole thing.
Interesting.
So I looked at it, and that just was like, wow. I was just like, there's no way. So when all those things happen and you stop really believing so much, but all those things happen in a way that it really couldn't have just been coincidences, That's what changed my life.
Is your name Ashley? Because that's probably not a coincidence.
No, it's actually not. It's a name. I'm not gonna say the name,
You don't have to.
but it's not a common name.
Okay.
So it's like,
I just like to make fun.
yeah. So it was just like, it's not a common name. I was just like in shock.
No, I'm
So
happy for you.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I live with my grandparents now. I'm happy. My dog and I live there. I don't have to worry about rent. All I have to worry about is my car payments, and I can have a normal job, a normal life.
And the end result of this, not that you need a man, you don't, but you'll end up meeting a guy who's probably the kind of guy that you would want a serious
Perfect.
relationship
Yes,
with.
exactly.
Whereas what you were doing before,
Exactly.
you'll meet a million guys, and not a single one of them will be worth a dime.
So what's funny is before I was like, I never want to get married. I had this messed up view of guys that I couldn't believe that a guy could ever be good. Like I had such a messed up view that I hated how men acted. I hated how they cheated. I hated all that. But I just realized it was the world I was in. Obviously, if everything around you looks horrible, why would you think that anything could be better than that unless you really find God that teaches you that there's more to life than
And
just
this
the
guy
dark
who fell
world.
asleep on your bed, you met him where?
In Vegas.
In a strip club?
No, he was in a casino. I was playing roulette, and he came up to me. He said, I want to have a conversation with you. So we did.
Tell me to get in line?
No, I talked to him. I don't know why I talked to him, but I just did. And then he was that's when the whole thing was adamant about coming to visit me. And like I said, I don't think he had any other intentions, just to really help me, because he told me this after. He was like, I saw a light in you when you would let your guard down, and I knew there was more than just what you were doing. So I was like, wow.
Cool. He got through to you.
He did. He really did. So, but we're still friends, but I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I feel like I have a lot to work on first. But it was just nice because I had such a mess of view of guys, and I always said, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. I don't ever want to have any of that, a family or any of that. And now I'm like, I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to have a family. And obviously when the time is right, not right now, I'm not going to be like, okay, time to get married. But now I'm like, I do in my future want all of this. Like, not everything is as horrible as I thought it was. Like, there's always light, even in the darkness.
I see a lot more potential in you now.
Yes, very happy.
For being happy and everything else you want.
Yeah.
Awesome. Bree, thank you so much. That's really a surprise, and I'm really happy for you.
I know, I'm super happy too.
That's
Thank
great.
you. And I hope anyone watching this, if you're going through it, there's always more. So just remember, and that's it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So y'all see why we had to watch the update for Bree, because I mean that's just like a really great story. I love that for her. You know, I just love it. I love it. I don't really have anything else to say. You know, of course, just maintaining caution. Because there are a lot of people. She's sharing her story. And there, I'm sure, were a lot of, demonic forces coming at her. It's going to come even more now, now that she's, living for Jesus. And, so that's my word of caution, activate that discernment and, make sure that you are using it in every area of your life and even in your interactions. The guy that she was talking about, I think that is great that he was there for her during that time. And sometimes, that's just it. That's just the extent of the relationship. It just is like, sometimes people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And so that just may have been the reason. Or maybe, that's a lifetime friend, either way, she just has to use discernment, even in those types of friendships. And even when a person was there and it was kind of a divine time, or, that they were, all of it just was so symbolic and, all of that good stuff, sometimes, we get caught up in that and, we end up making bad decisions, regarding people that we think a little more highly of than they deserve. So, like I said, what is your discerning message for Bree? Do you have any words of wisdom for her? Any notes or anything that you heard that maybe she could take some really good advice on? Do you have any words of encouragement? Any words of congratulations for our sister? I love that for her. I love that for all of us. That she's able to recognize the objectification and come out of that. I think that's amazing. What a success story. And I thank God for that for Bree. So I will talk to y'all later. Like I said, like the video, share the video with a daughter, and then share your story. You know, did you have a similar situation as Bree? Are you coming out of the whole objectification mindset and, you know, all of the things that came with that? You know, have you been objectified yourself? And maybe you're just now realizing it. Let us know in the comment section, and I will see you later. Make sure that you're subscribed and that you follow me for more great content on daughters and discernment. I love y'all, and remember, you are important to me. I need you to survive.